Welcome back to Timberborn and our Lakes playthrough. So, do you know, you look at these, the plains, the lakes, the plains on the waterfalls, and you look at the size of the map, and it's absolutely ginormous compared to what we used to New Diarma, or even some, the newest one, Fortitude are a lot smaller than this one as well, so, um, you know, anyway, let's get onto it. Looks like I've caused, well, I'd sort of caused a problem. It looks like it's fixing itself now. Where I'm basically doing some fluid dumps, which should sort the problem out. And then we get the Fountain of No Joy. We've still got a lot more. Obviously, we're at 34, which isn't still great. There's still a lot more to potentially to be able to be done. We haven't got any cattails. We haven't got any hot chestnuts. We haven't got any sunflowers as well. And I've got room in some respects to start thinking about that sort of thing. I could also do some. I mean, obviously, I've built this up, but there's no reason why I couldn't. I'm trying to see where this would go. That's the only problem. It'll leak out. It would stop around here though, because there's no way of sending that down. We have no more wood down here whatsoever. So that's another thing that can... I'll just turn these off, because there's no need to get rid of them. So that's another thing gone. Obviously, this is all dead. This is all gone. And our, obviously, our strange thing here is working quite well. It would be nice to be able to put finish this off, I think, and get that to the same level. So we'll get rid of them. Don't need them. We'll sort that out. Not levies. What do I want a levy for? Let's just put them. I think we'll also might blast this down so we got some more food there. This could probably come down as well to the next level. I remember before that I tried to do something with this, and obviously clearly it didn't work. As we can see, I went down a level, and yes, let's not go with that one. I mean, we are on normal anyway. So that's another concern. Let's do a little bit faster, so I would say. They are obviously going to set this in motion. I'm going to get the water going back again, because that makes sense. I've still got 33, but like I said, it would be nice to have some sort of more food. Now, whether, like I said, I put the food into there, and we'll see. This only needs to go down by 1 anyway, so let's just concentrate on getting that down. I'll take these out, and at least that's going to be down. That's going to be down to what we want to do. These are clearly being used somewhere else. Probably here. I've got a lot of dirt and nothing to do with it. That's not going to do anything until it's time to do something. Obviously, we've got that they can do the needs power. I took the power out of here, didn't I? Yes. We've got power going to there. As we can see here, that is in line with that. It would make sense to want to... I think I'll be okay with it too. No, that's not going to work. We need to go to a 3. And I'm going to have to bury it under there. So if we go to a 3 as far as I can go, that'll be fine. I'll get to a 300 there. And then I'll have to either take this out. Well, in fact, I can take it out, can't I? We can take that out. That would be maybe a 2 then? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We'll put a 2 there as well. So that's going to get them going. That'll use quite a lot of... That way I should be able to get this for something else. I can put this down here as well. Not too sure whether I take that over there, but the idea I think was to increase the height of that, but it didn't quite work out how I planned. The problem is I think this needed to be increased the other way around and not decreased. Not even sure whether I actually need that going, to be honest. I don't even think I need that going. Don't think it's going to be... this isn't obviously built. They're just filling up the water from here, which is fine. There's no two ways about that. That's perfectly fine. They've obviously strip mined this out now. I've got 65 left. I don't want to go too far. I'll only go to here because this is where this line is. I've obviously got these disabled. Food. I've still got tons of it. I ain't got a lot of potatoes. Just admit that's questionable. I did change the line on here, but I certainly think there's other things that we could do. It's whether we get a chance to do it in this playthrough. Remember, this is more than likely going to be our last hurrah for the lakes. For it may be the last hurrah, or it may be left for a little while. Because if you remember, we do about 50 episodes. But the idea of these is to understand the different mechanics on, like the Fountain of Joy, for an example, things like that I want to do in the other. I mean, you couldn't get I don't think you could get a Fountain of Joy in the new Diarma, but you could certainly get it in a Fortitude playthrough. So that's what all these 3 are. They are the beginners game ones, but as I made mistakes to start with, I caused myself problems. But as we know, things like that work, which it's weirdly irrigating all this side here, which is what we really want to do. I don't want to take all that down yet until I get all this down. Obviously, this has been done. This has not been done. But we've got so many builders that we're pretty okay to just get all that done. I'm trying to think of other things to test and learn and for a better word, fiddle about with. Now, obviously, we got the zip lines in. Now, when this started, there was no zip lines. So this is an update 7, which is the last one that we've had at the time. So we're obviously using that to our advantage here with having the zip lines moving around, which is faster. We should be doing that in other playthroughs, I think, as well. Certainly the Fortitude one. Very quite difficult in the new diarrhea to do it, especially at the moment that we are, shall we say, running out of. Well, we have got the metal, but we are obviously getting that done. Now I'll put some pipe work in. Oh, I went a little further down than I was actually supposed to be going. Oh well. I was only supposed to go to there. Oh, I killed the beaver. Oops, a daisy. Yeah. That's a travesty. I went down too far on that one as well. Oh well, this playthrough is going really well. That's okay then. We've got so much dirt here. I don't think there's much of a problem of being able to fill it back in again, to be honest. You know, I'm annoyed that killed me beaver though. If I want to go over there, I'm gonna have to do that and have a walkway over there. This needs a walkway as well. So we're gonna have to think about this. The problem being is I'm gonna have to do a tunnel under here because obviously I don't want to take that out, which will take all that out. So the only alternative here would be to have a ladder and have that be built so I can get down and... How far is that then? Is it just one? I think it just might be one, you know. I may have... no, I have done it right the way down. I've just not done that all the way down, though. So it's gonna have to... Where is the tunnels? So it'll tunnel that to there. That should allow them to be able to get in there and obviously do this. It's a nice bit of play there. We're needing to get all this done as well while they're on it. You just carry on that, beavers. Somehow, oh yeah. I was thinking, why is this not working? But it's not working because there's no walkway into there, is there? Right, that'll suffice. and then we'll get the rest of this in. I've got enough planks for days, and where is my logs then? That's the question. I've got planks, but where is... Oh, there's been logs. It's always weird that, because you look at... I was looking on here because I assumed the logs were next to it, but it's not. It's sort of is it called an ancillary? So in other words, it's connected to the logs, but the logs is up here. Well done, Piggy. I'll also do that just in case they want to walk down there. It does make sense. Once we get this up in this place, it'll be okay. I've got 192. That's the most beavers I've ever had in any playthrough. You could easily have 1,000 on here. I can't see that being a problem. Let's blow this up. Right then, let's get rid of... Wrong button. Don't need that anymore. Clearly, planks is the problem here. Right, we've got potatoes, wheat, sunflower. I don't particularly want to select plant crops. I'll set up do the sunflower. We'll do some, because we have got that in the list of things to actually plant. So let's get them to plant this. At least that'll be another fruit crop on our list done for this playthrough. That's it. Everything else is now coming together again. We can't actually put any dirt on top of that at all. It won't allow us. But we can, you know, if I really wanted to, put these on here. Which I suppose I've got enough planks to sink a battleship. May as well there. Right then. Have... that's now, let's do the... Yeah, it's not allowing me to, oh, it wouldn't allow me to do that because of that. Oh, I'm going to have to pause this and do this in a certain order, Anna. Because if I don't do that, then it's not going to work. As we know, once we've got that in, this will start to go in very soon. So is there anything else that I can show at the this particular time so we can get something else? I think it might be an idea just to fill that in. And take them two down. Don't particularly need them. How are we doing? I think... Ooh, where are they? I've lost them. There they are. Oh, it's because I've turned it. I got confused. Yeah, so they're doing this. So we got we'll get some sunflower in relatively soon. It's not the greatest of foods by all means. There's a hell of a lot of grilled potatoes. That's why I don't particularly need any form of them. There's more food than there is beavers. That's for sure. I'm also thinking about sending this down here. Although saying that though, I think I can have a walkthrough on that actually. Oh no, it doesn't allow to have a walkthrough on the cupboard. There we go, that's a bit more tidier, so to speak. Right, how are we doing with this then? Have we got this in? I'd like to get this in. And then we can have, at least I can have the carousels rerunning again. This was all for the food as well. That's what this was all for. I don't think I enabled it. Grill Spaddock. Which is here. Not even sure how that's going to get, if and now that's going to get built. But like I said, I don't have to worry about the planks. Every time I could probably actually turn these off, to be honest. But they won't run unless you've got some space anyway, so it's sort of not making much. I've got 21,000 in science points by just leaving these running. I don't think I have to worry too much about the old science points in this. They're only like 11% done. So anyway, that's certainly done. I'm not going to do any more dirt because I don't think I need dirt. I would really, really like to get this done. In fact, actually, I don't even think I actually need the ladder in there for this. They're asleep anyway. So I think I'm going to take the ladder out. And I'll get that to be picked up. And we should be able to get this running pretty much straight away once that's coming through there. And then they've got the carousel going. And they like the carousel. So that's an extra buzz for them. As I think we've got the carousel, but unless you start using it, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Now, I think the campfires are in here somewhere. It's very difficult to try and find the campfires. No, that might be the mud pit. No, I was wrong. That's the campfires. Don't seem to be used in the campfires very much, which is quite disappointing. Right, that's... I'm not too sure though. If I should have probably kept that in. I could have had another one here. Having three fill this up would have been quite nice. That's why the Fountain of Joy isn't... Oh, it's not... it's not Hmm. Ah. The fountain of no joy is actually connected to that, isn't it? Yes. The problem is this will never exceed the limit of the fountain of joy. It needs to go over this height here, which is a bit of an issue. That's a pin. To be sure. To be sure, for sure. I can... I'm going to do that. I'm going to go around... I'm going to go around it. I don't know whether I'm going to have to come right the way around here. Around this section here and dump it in that way. I'm going to have to fill this section as well. I'm going to have to stop. See, now the carousels are working, as we can see. But the problem being is this hole here is what I said, is it's the fountain of joy is never going to get high enough to be able to... So I'm going to have to blow a... I'm going to have to fill this in somewhere and stop it from sending that, and it's going to have to come round. Which is a joy, I've seen. Where's my explosives? That's a good question. I'm going to send them back on again. We don't think we have the dirty mine in this. It is a slight pity that I've got to go around. It would have been, I mean, it would have been better to change that and blow this in here. And this is why I say this is the tutorial one, because now I know not to try and do the carousels right next to here if they need the power. It would have been best to have them from this side. If I am to manually fill this in, which obviously clearly I am. I mean, obviously I could change it now and not have to worry about this. But it wouldn't. I don't think it would be done in this. That now has got a track. I think that's enough. It certainly is to send this down here, send this down here, and blow that out. Obviously, I've got to take out that. And do this. And put that. It won't obviously do it until the bottom one's done, but that will. That will solve the problem. And it will stop the water from... You see what I mean? The water's just constantly going. It has no choice but to constantly go. But once we got this, I'll blow this in and send it down under here. Get out of the way. I'll also do a give myself a... Now I've got that going. I know this sounds mental, but I need to fill this in now. I could have done it with tunnels, but the trouble is, a tunnel just takes so much longer than just blasting it out and then putting some dirt. And I've got 1,000 dirt, so I don't really have to worry about, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. Then I want the... We're going to have the tunnel again. Let me come down and fire that in there. Now, is that... I am not too sure whether that's low enough. No, I don't think that's low enough. I've just filled this flipping thing in, haven't I? Okay. I assumed, stupidly, that that was low enough. Actually, that is... It's that. That is low enough. That is right there, though. But that's wrong there. Let's not bother with that then. No point blowing something that you don't need to do. I think that will actually work out better as well, because it'll come into here. Now, obviously, I could sluice that and say, keep it high. There's no reason why I couldn't. There's no reason why I couldn't go into there to increase the height of that. That is at the bottom, but this is not at the bottom. If we can see there, but it clearly doesn't need to be at the bottom because the Fountain of Joy is not at this bottom. It's because this needs to be higher than this down here, so it fills up to there, which then will fill that up to the top. It's a questionable way, but it does work, as we well know. I'll get that done. I just need to have this done. I better put a path and then a path there, because then they'll be able to... Sometimes if you don't put a path, they don't actually know to actually go into there. Yeah, it's getting there. We're definitely... I was never particularly really happy about this. This was what I was never really... This debacle here. I'm not even sure what else you could do with it, though. But, I can do that. Obviously, like I said, this needs to be a lot higher. Once this is in, we can see it's getting higher now. It's going over the what we need. Once that's blown itself through, obviously this will reduce itself because it needs to get this high. This is why I've done this here. Now, I may be wrong what I've done. I don't think so. It won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time. Right, so now water's going to gush in there. It will take a while for the fountain of joy to actually be able to. We need this, as we can see here. It needs to go over this level, here before it should start to turn on. Now, obviously, that's pressurized, although that shouldn't really make too much of a difference anyway now. I'll send planks as a just to get this going. It didn't take long to get that going. That'll should suffice quite. At least we've got this going. I'd like to get that because it could. I don't particularly care about the planks. I just want that in. We are obviously a lot lower now because we've lost the pressure. That now all planks are being shoved in there. So I don't need to worry about that now. I am going to disable them because I don't think I really need any. Gears are 400 and something. I'd just like to get this back running again, to be honest. And consistently keep it running. I know I've gone over there, but obviously I haven't got anything anything done with that. It just reminded me of like having an electrical grid where you just put this down and then you can just work out which one that you want to have done. Now, as I said, this should theoretically... no, it won't work. I've just realised because I need to block that off. So I better not do that as well. I need to have a ladder down here then. The reason why it won't work is there's no pressure. The pressure won't be there. Let's do that. Let's do that. And get down there. The pressure won't be... It's just coming back out of this side. Which is something I forgot about. Like here. So it's just... The water's just running back out again. So if I do a... There and plug that. We should theoretically be okay. Because this is stopped. It's going round here. And it's going into there. That's pressurized because when this gets to the second level... This is the same height as this level here, not the floor, this level, which is what the fountain of no joy. I call it no flipping joy because it was an absolute pain in the butt to build, very costly, very time consuming, and I messed about with it. But that's the error of my ways here. This, should now be able to be built. And we should see that potentially go on. Feed there's fine. These are potential to knock this down. I'm just having a look here. This is a. You see where this is going? It would allow water to go through, but I like it more as a stopgap. In other words, maybe a dam, maybe allowing the water to come through here, but dam it up. Well, that'd be a lovely place to dam it. How far away are we there? Yeah, well, we can put. Is that? That's fine. No, it wants to be a that and that. That. Then I'll. Like I said, it was all about learning with this one. Once I'd got to know what I was actually supposed to be doing. I've got the metal. I've got 300 in. Let's go to land. There's the triple. Don't think I have to worry too much about. Like I said, I don't think I have to worry too much about the build on this. It's not really going to be much of an issue. The only thing is it's going to be quite slow because it has to go through there. So go through there, around there, up there, down there. But that will allow that I could put the sluice gates in. When do I want the sluice gate? Well, I know when I want the sluice gates. But how the hell am I going to get down to them? Probably the only way would be to blast it up here. It's not ideal, but I think it will work. And then we can leave this here as a barrier. Because there's this gap here, I should be able to build the sluice gates over there. Then go over, then blast this out. And then the sluice gates will open. And I can tell it that to do it up to a 1 or something like that, and then it should shut itself off once it's found its equilibrium. Look at me. Yeah. How are we doing? This doesn't seem to be filling up. I suppose it is filling up. Could I get... I don't know whether. I'm just going to try water. Fluid. No, I want a fluid dump. Yes, it will allow me to have the... It's a bit of an unorthodox way of having 3 to fill this up, but it will work nonetheless. Then we'll have that. Then we'll have that. We'll fill up that. I think there was a recent update to that, because I don't remember having a bad water, not recent, but probably 6 didn't have that in. We are doing, remember this is a folktale, so as long as I've got housing, they will breed. It's not like the iron teeth that doesn't do that. And I'm still making... I've got these turned off, and I've still got enough. These should be set to... these are set wrong. They should be set to here. So in other words, if we've got nothing else to do, going here. Otherwise, don't do it. But there's so many, and I've got so many 100 and some. It's showing far unemployed already, and I've got so many beavers. And I don't even have to worry about the food either. Now, we have getting a bad water soon. So, because we're going to get a bad water, this... you see, this would have been better as sluices, actually. Not as these. I don't know whether the bad water comes through here, though. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't, you see, because that's a sluice. As it says, close above contamination 1%. So it doesn't really make a difference. There's a lot of stuff here, though. I think it's because of the... There we go. There we go. See, my idea was a perfecciano. So it's only taken all this playthrough to get this back running again. But you can see, this is wrong. The only way, really, I should have done it down here. But like I said, it was a new... These are the training, these are the tutorial ones. These are actually, that's what they say they are, to learn to such and such. And I made so many mistakes in the first 25 or whatever playthroughs, which are interesting because you can tell the difference in my knowledge from them to these later ones, and obviously what I'm saying as well. So that's the, that's the thing. These are all going to nicely fill up now. And I'm not going to have a... The only trouble is it's taking 3. That's why I wanted it from the fluid dump. The actual mechanical fluid dump, so it would do by water. But the problem being is that didn't quite work out. I've still not found a decent way yet of this to work. I shouldn't have to too much worry about the water situation. We could do that. But also we've got all this here. Once it runs out down there, it'll stop. That's the grilled spaddock. That's cattail crackers. Am I doing anything with these, actually? The thing is, you need a cattail. There, spaddock. I've got 13 roots of that, but I'm not actually doing anything with it. Apparently. No, because that needs to go... The reason why it's not in here is it actually needs to go into wheat. I might have stopped this a little bit early. Because they're complaining they're flooded. That's fine. We'll only take water. We've got 5 days. We'll only take water from these. But I'm at 9,000 in water, so I don't really need to take anything. The reason why is I don't want these to get too low. And they are a bit low anyway. They're quite low. The problem is, in a sense, this is at the wrong place. It should be one higher. But I did cause a slight problem if that goes one higher. Because this is the height of the one higher. But unfortunately, the this won't work. Because of this here. This is further down. I would say the right cause of fixing this problem would be to put a sluice on the bottom and then encase this. So it can't go backwards, but it can only come forwards. You know what they say, knowledge is a good thing. Yes, knowledge is a very good thing. They must be doing these then. Yeah, I have got one higher. Sunflower. There we go. So I have got a one higher. I think we could go up to somewhere in the region of eight. Is it 80 well-being? Some ridiculous amount. So I'm in this tutorial. I'm really low with it. But remember, all these three are about learning the game. I changed them to that, and I was actually the last number 49, if you like, prior to so many. They were paid almost nearly 3 months ago now. And because I changed things and we did the new Beaverbrook 2 and etc. and I learned a lot more, I was going to ditch them and not carry on with them. And then I just said, no, they're done up to that point. Why not just release them? And obviously, people like yourselves have been watching them. Thank you very much. Because obviously, if you've not played the game, and now you can learn what Pombrum's pigs had. I know a lot of people do a time lapse, and that's the problem. A time lapse is fine, but the problem is a time lapse is you don't learn anything because it's time lapse. So they go, oh, we've got to do this, then it's done, and that's it. Well, why are you placing that there? What sort of problems will you have, and all sorts of other things, which you don't get to see in the playthrough. So that's the reason why I'm not a fan of a time lapse. Because you've got to try and learn the game. Yeah, just like these. I wouldn't have put these here if I'd have known. I would have put them maybe over, but as usual with me, I like things to feel au naturel and tidy and other things. That's why I don't like this. I just don't like this step. It just looks awful. It works, but maybe it's just me. You might say, well, what's a worry pig? The whole point is you're trying to survive, not necessarily... I know this is mental, but I'll tell you something, it's definitely working around here, and it's doing its thing. And if you look at it, it's only taking up 2 spots. I mean, you could say 3 with a there, but it's only really taking up 3 in 3 little squares to irrigate. I think we can irrigate mostly out here, actually. So these questionable things do work. Which, if you take that concept and then you watch, for an example, the new Diarma playthrough, the Beaverbrook 2. I'm trying to think the number. Beaverbrook 2. We lost, if you're not too sure, I lost stupid OneDrive. Deleted me Beaverbrook 1, and I was so basically. Excuse me. Should have thingied the mic there. Apologies. Alright, I'm back again. I had to pause the mic after I coughed because I was going to do it again. Anyway, yeah, so I'd lost that because of the OneDrive deleting some, and it deleted it so much I couldn't get it back. No matter what I did, I tried to redo stream, nothing. So I'd lost it, so we had to start another one, which I was gutted because I had so many ideas. That's why I'm putting them sort of ideas in the Fortitude Play, which has only just started. I think when you see this, we're 3 videos in. So if you've not seen that and you're really interested to see it from the start, I would go watch the first 3 videos, and I know they're an hour, but then you'll get to see something that's a lot more intense than this. This is played on normal, where that's played on hard. Oh, and it is hard. That's nothing compared to what you could select. Like, we could do Apocalypse mode and, in other words, really rank up the hardness. And, the droughts are like 30 days and things like that. The bad, where we've only got like 8 days, I think, in this playthrough. So how are we doing here? Right, so this is actually built now. I'm not too sure how much that I can flood. But it would be nice to get this in. Let's see what we can do. I do need another one. Unfortunately, though, I can't get down there to finish this off because it just won't allow me. I'll allow that one because it will walk up, but I can't get any more, so I might as well down. I understand that we're probably not going to get this finished in this playthrough, but I'll keep them on. I'll keep them on my system. What I do is I back them up because although I've taken OneDrive off the gaming PC now, I don't know how the hell I managed to enable it anyway. I don't like OneDrive compared to Dropbox. I think Dropbox is far better. It's just not as aggressive. The problem is unfortunately Timberborn saves it into the documents, and the documents is one of the things that OneDrive likes to think. If it wasn't saved into the documents, into another, into the apps folder, for an example, which you can do on because this is done in the Unity engine. I know I'm going through and thingy, but obviously if you don't know these things, you don't know. It wouldn't have been a problem because then OneDrive would have not grabbed it. It's funny because I was talking to the developers. I should have said you should be putting it into the app folder, not into the into the documents folder, because that's what OneDrive does. I mean, don't get me wrong. These guys that that've done this in Unity are far superior to my programming in Unity when I did. And I did a game from 1985 on Unity. But I've done a lot of programming at time with different WinForms and web and this and gamey things. So I've done a lot in the time I've been doing all these things. But anyway, it looks as if we're getting close. I'm trying to get all these things done, but I don't think I can get them done in this playthrough. But like I said, I'll save it, and I may occasionally come back and do one if people want to say, "Oh, Pigs, go and have a look at your lakes again." Or somebody says, "Oh, can you explain to me how you do such and such?" And then I'll load one of these. I'll either load the lakes, the plains, or the waterfalls, and then I'll explain it into a video and we'll play it and go like that. Because it's, I mean, I learned quite a bit with these recently, with the excavator, that I didn't realise that can be actually in water. Which is bonkers, because I've always put it outside like these, and I didn't know. So, and that's in our new diameter. You don't know, and you know. But anyway, let's stop this now. I hope you enjoyed this little series. Like I said, if you want to play Timberborn, and you're not too sure about it, go and look at some of the other ones that I've played. But if you're not too sure about you playing it and saying, "Oh, Pigs, will you go through a video?" Like I said, just let me know in a comment on the video or one of these videos, and I'll fire it up and I'll do a video on it, and then we'll play 51, 52, because obviously it's still here. It's going to be stopped from this 50 video. Like I said, what I tried to do is I'm playing this every single one of them up to 50 episodes of whatever the playthrough, and obviously if we're doing that once a week, that's over nearly a year's worth of play. So it's the commitment from me, and it's the commitment for you to watch it as well. So, but like I said, the lakes, the plains, and the waterfalls are all the tutorial ones. So we can mess about that once they're finished, and you know where I am. If you want any advice or whatever on this game, I'll try my best to explain. You know, because I've had to really, really study it and there's still, as they're updating, I don't know everything, you know. Anyway, we will leave it there. You lot all take care, and I hope you enjoy this. Why not come back to watch the plains and the waterfalls and the other Timberborn, and obviously there's all sorts of other things on the channel as well. But don't forget to check out pigstv.com. It's all free. Go there with your phone, tablet, PC, or whatever, and you'll see it looks a little bit like YouTube, but it's all for that week. So you can see what's coming up in that week before it's even out on YouTube. No login, no nothing. Just go and have a look at it, and then you'll get what's there. Anyway, take care. We will see you in the next play. Bye for now.